Good morning, viewers. Today we are interviewing Commissioner of New South Wales Fair Trading, Mr. Rod Stowe. Thank you, sir, for giving us time.
Thank you for the opportunity.
First, I should congratulate you for the Lifetime Achievement Award you have received from the Consumer Society.
Thank you very much. I very much appreciate it. When one's recognised by one's peers, it's a special occasion, and I was very grateful to have received that most prestigious award. Thank you.
You have worked more than 10 years in the consumer area.
In fact, 26 years 26. In this agency, yeah.
The first question I have is the requiring a license for travel agent business was repealed. This was, of course, done to foster the travel industry and the services. What do you have to say on that?
Yeah, look, this was a response by governments, I suppose, to changes in the marketplace. So back in the 1980s, if you wanted to make arrangements for travel, you pretty much had to use an intermediary. You had to use a travel agent, and they held large amounts of money on behalf of clients. What's changed in recent years, particularly with the internet, is that people can now go directly to suppliers and organise travel arrangements. This has meant that people who were travel agents were paying additional costs which their competitors weren't. So the government's decided to deregulate the industry and also to dismantle the Travel Compensation Fund, which was a safety net in instances where travel agencies collapsed and consumers were affected. Now, what is in place still, though, is the Australian Consumer Law. So any business that is involved in travel services has to comply with the Australian Consumer Law. They have to ensure that services are provided in an appropriate way, and there are penalties for things like misleading consumers and having unfair contract terms and the like.
How has the revocation of licence in travel business affected tourism in Australia?
Look, I'm probably not in a position to comment on its impact in respect of tourism. That's not part of Fair Trading's area of responsibility. But I suspect overall, deregulating the industry has actually meant that there's greater competition. And I suspect, as far as agents are concerned, certainly a reduction in some of the costs, government costs and red tape that was imposed on those businesses. So I would have thought that it's been an advantage for those travel agencies which were previously controlled in those ways.
There has been an upsurge of fraudulent activities in travel industry agent business as such. How does government intend to check that?
There have been a number of travel agencies in recent times which have collapsed and caused consumer detriment. We currently have a national project where the regulators are monitoring the marketplace, looking at what's changed since deregulation. And similarly, we're also working in partnership with Choice, the consumer organisation, who's been given a grant to provide assistance and advice to consumers about procuring travel services.
The unscrupulous activities in travel agencies do affect the genuine business person, like a genuine travel agents do suffer because of these activities.
Yes.
So what steps are being taken to curb this?
I think the most important thing is giving information to consumers about what they need to do when they're looking for travel products. I think an important development in the marketplace has been accreditation schemes, and ATAS, which is the Australian Travel Agents Federation's registration system for travel agents, is very important. ATAS provides an accreditation scheme where there is a code of conduct that businesses must abide by. They must also have proper complaint handling processes. So I think that agencies that are part of that accreditation scheme are those that consumers should be looking to in terms of the provision of service.
But how will a consumer know that he's ATAS approved travel agents? Because when you go online and try to buy tickets, you don't know whether the travel agent is sitting in Australia or is sitting in X or YZ country. How do we know that ATAS approved? How do we know that?
Well, agents who are accredited are being encouraged to show the accreditation logo, show the ATAS logo. Importantly, I think consumers need to ask those questions. So you need to ask your supplier, your agent, are you a member of an accreditation scheme, and if so, what? The other thing you can do is you can ring or contact ATAS and find out whether the agent you're thinking of using is part of their scheme. So I think the consumer has to do some work themselves. They have to do their homework.
Will they find this information also on your website in New South Wales Fair Trading, or they have to go to ATAS?
They'll have to go to ATAS. There is good general information about hints that people can take if you're looking for travel services on Fair Trading's website. But when it comes to accreditation, yes, you will have to go to the ATAS website. There's a link from Fair Trading's website to it, but yes, you'll need to make that inquiry.
What can be done to stop these malpractices in travel services? Furthermore, what actions have been taken against the agencies that have duped consumers?
There's certainly investigations being undertaken in those states where there has been recent instances of malpractice, and those agencies are still investigating those matters. I think, though, importantly, consumers have to do some homework, have to protect themselves, and I think the sorts of things people need to be aware of is dealing with an accredited travel agent. Also thinking about payment methods. One of the things we know that's occurred in the past is people have paid cash to an agent, and that cash has been taken by the agent, and then the person's had no recourse. One of the strategies would be looking at payments like credit cards. When you pay by credit card, and if the service is not delivered, then you can go to your financial institution and seek a chargeback and have that money restored to your account. So while you may pay a small surcharge for using a credit card, it may well be a very important way of protecting yourself when you're making these payments.
Creating awareness and warning against the activities required to protect innocent consumers. What do you intend, and how do you want to reach the end users?
One of my concerns is that the recent collapses of travel agents' businesses we've seen in Australia, fortunately not here in New South Wales but elsewhere, seem to have been targeting certain communities, and I think it's really important to get those messages to those communities. So we've been using our partners in those areas to get the message across. I mean, what we're doing today is very important. A very important part of that is making sure that people are aware of the potential risks and taking the precautions they can to protect themselves.
Thank you very much for your time, sir. Anything you would like to say to our readers?
Anyone who wants more information about the things I've been talking about can go to Fair Trading's website, which has a very comprehensive information about travel services. Alternatively, people can ring us on 13 32 20, our general inquiry number. We also have a Facebook page that people can drop a line to us on and give us information.
Hi viewers, we have just listened to the interview of Commissioner of New South Wales Fair Trading, and we should be looking at the websites and taking all precautions before we buy tickets. Thank you, Commissioner, for your time.
Thanks so much.